Welcome to Speaking Through the Fog. This is Miranda and my lovely guest host here, Vanna White, Keone. And we're talking today about being in a relationship and being sick. That's why I have him on. I was just got done busy, or I was just getting done explaining to him that I have him on here because I wanted the, you know, sick and the caretaker point of view on the whole relationship. So, me and him met when we were 19 on an internet dating site, and I would say it was love at first sight. He came walking up huffing and puffing because he had ran 12 miles because I didn't know that the buses didn't run all the way to where I was on Sunday, and you did not have a phone to call me. And I still don't know why he didn't stop at a gas station or something, or go home and try to get a hold of me on your computer or something. Anyways, and so after dating for a while, we got pregnant, which freaked him out. In fact, his sister had to come with me to tell you, because his sister thought he was gonna run. But no, he took it really, actually rather well. Went pale, fainted, cried a lot, but it went rather well. No, he stuck around, and we've been together for 7 years. So anyways, we're after I had the baby, though, things changed, and it was more than just having the baby. It was me getting sick, and as as I said in the interviews, it didn't start out bad, but as of now, he's has some stuff to deal with. I feel like that he didn't really know he was getting in for. The whole relationship's pretty one-sided. I feel like it doesn't. I don't. I can't pull my weight. He's like a single parent in a lot of ways because everything kind of falls on him. Chores and taking care of the kids a lot of times, and working and finances and just pretty much everything. So, I mean, what do you feel about that whole thing?
I don't know, something that has to be done. If you're sick and you can't do it, I mean, kind of what I signed up for.
Not really.
Why not?
Because when you first got with me, I wasn't sick, and I was a completely different person then.
So what?
Well, I mean, how can you argue with that, right? And yeah, I've become a complete homebody because I'm too sick to leave. The few times I have tried to go out and do something, I've always paid for it for a really long time. But he gets frustrated because there's sometimes he thinks maybe I could go out and I don't, or I just I don't want people to come over here, and I definitely don't want to go to my old work because I don't want anybody to see how sick I am and stuff. So he definitely doesn't get to go out as much, which, it used to be really important to him. I try to get him to go out sometimes, and he's too worried about it and stuff. And I think one of the hardest things for him is when I get super grumpy, and he wants to help me and stuff, and I won't let him. And for me, it's, kind of like I can't. I'm a control freak. I was a control freak even before I got sick. I'm like bad. I like everything done in a particular way, and I'm super organized, and I don't like anybody doing anything for me anyways. I think I can do because I can do it better. I mean, that's just how I am. And then I got sick, and my control freakness got like 100 times worse. And so he, is worried about me, and I have a tendency to overdo things. And um I just won't let him help me. at all. Um,
Most of the time I have to do it anyway and just let her yell at me.
oh, and I get super grumpy at him. I yell. You know, get pissed off and wheel myself off in my wheelchair huffily as I can, huffing and puffing more like. And um, yeah,
A
I
lot of huffing, breathing heavy, just
he learned it from me. So um, and so I think that's one of the hardest things for him is just me overdoing it and not, I mean, and he feels kind of helpless with it anyways because there's not a lot he can do to like cure me or fix me, or everybody's feeling that like right now. And so he's kind of like, I want to do what I can, and I'm like, well, I want to do what I can too. And so it's like this war of who can take care of me. um, and I'm not, when I'm sick, I'm not very understanding either. I'm like, you should know this. And he's all, how am I going to read your mind? I'm like, damn it, of course you can read my mind. So the other thing is the um how, so my illness is very internal. A lot of my symptoms, like, you can't see just by looking at me, and even the people that know me really well can't tell I'm sick just by looking at me. So I have to kind of tell them if I'm bad. Um and if I don't, a lot of times I'll just drop and they'll be like, "Whoa, what happened?" And um or like these recent, like, really bad spells, I'd been building up to them for a while, and I won't have said anything about me being, oh, I think I'm gonna get in a bad spell. Maybe I shouldn't be making dinner or whatever. And I do that because I don't want to worry them. But then, if I don't tell him, he gets really mad, right? Well, why don't you tell him why that makes you mad?
well, it's kind of frustrating. I mean, yes, I know she's sick, but that's all I know. If she's not feeling as good as she usually does, or if she feels like she's becoming worse than she usually would, I don't hear about it until it's already done. So I'd much rather hear about it and know what the heck's going on than just be blindsided by it.
To be fair to me, though, this one's a, like, doomsday guy. Like, he thinks the worst thing's gonna happen every time. He also is one of those people who thinks of everything that could go wrong and then worries about everything that could go wrong before it's even gone wrong. And he's not very good at stress either. So when I'm like in my sickest point and I need him to be like fine, he's like depressed because I'm sick and he's worried, and I'm going, no, 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 no. You need to be fine. I need to be the depressed one right now. I can't do this right now. So, yeah, that is really hard in relation, I think, in the whole relationship thing, because I wind up telling him anyways just because I love him enough and I know that that's important to him. And then, the last thing I want to talk about, and little ones should cover their ears or go in the next room, is the fact that you'll want to hear this, baby. You'll want to put input into this.
A child under 13 years of age.
Oh gosh, you're gonna have the freaking CPS after me. They're gonna think it's true. He is a, a immature 27-year-old. Yes, mentally maybe 13, but anyways. Um so before I got sick, I would not leave this guy alone. I wanted sex like all the time, and it was bad enough that he actually was like, "Woman, get off me. I want to go to bed."
Your parents are gonna love this episode.
They don't watch this.
know that.
Oh God, if they did, whatever. Anyways, I'll put a warning on the subtitles. But now it's like never, ever, ever. And I know I feel bad because I know he wants it. I mean, come on, look, he's a 27-year-old guy. What 27-year-old guy can go for like 4, 5, 6 months without it? 7, 8, a year. So,
It's
and
like being a camel.
I I throw him some water every once in a while, you know. But you know, and there's been times that's hurt, and there's been times where he'll like have touched me and I'll set off an episode. So it's scary for both of us, and um I don't know, like I don't want to force myself to do it because it hurts his feelings when I do that, but I also just don't want him to suffer. So I don't know, and you know it's funny because when I'm looking it up online, um, about like chronic fatigue syndrome and sex or being chronically ill and all that, they have like suggestions, but they don't really talk about it too much, and I think it should be a major issue because I mean we have a strong relationship, which is pretty much the only way we're getting through that. Because I think if we didn't, he would have been like later, a long time ago, right? Right? Yeah, yeah. Anyways, so my main point about talking about being a mother sick and being in a relationship sick is to bring up the whole family interviews thing, which is being sick doesn't just affect me, it affects all stratas of the whole, you know, um, my whole circle. So, I mean, I'm sick, he's worried. It makes it hard for him to work because he's worried. He's a very closed person and he's telling his coworkers and stuff about what's going on with me and stuff because they can just notice the difference. Um, he, I had a point. Where was I going with this? um, work and what was I talking about?
I wasn't listening.
Seriously? Work and oh god. Um, it affects all people and work and I don't know where I was going with this. It affects everybody, and it affects you, how much sleep you get and how much work you do, and so he probably doesn't do as good at work because of it, and so and his health is affected, and you know, me being sick doesn't only bring my health down, it brings the health down of the people around me. So I mean that's why things like chronic fatigue not getting enough research money, or people with Lyme disease, or other people who are chronically fatigued. It's like it affects all those millions of people who have the disease, but it also affects their family, and not just their emotionally, but physically and socially and economically as well. So I'm getting off my soapbox. And I'm so glad he was on here because he added so much to this whole program. And I will be on next time with more Speaking Through the Fog.